All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
BoJack Horseman, Season 1, Episode 5. BoJack, you done fucked up.
Yep. Your conniving and skonniving and all that is going to get you outed. Now, it might not be for a while. We'll see.
No.
We'll see.
But you've got plenty of other things that will cause complications in your life that have been building up. So, good luck. Best of luck.
Best of luck with that.
Yeah.
Progression and growth is not a consistent thing, but This was definitely a regression in every sense of the word.
But now you know that this is the depths that you'll go to, for all of this stuff. So now we just need that good old forcing function to come along.
Our man here does not
develop.
lack self-awareness. He just does not have the desire to change.
Sure.
I think his
self-awareness covered in a lot of self-deception.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing I think he uses his self-awareness to mask the fact that he does not want to change. Meaning he's like, no, I'm very balanced. I'm still look at how self-aware I am.
Yeah.
But buddy. Good luck.
This is gonna be spicy.
Okay, so y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Oh, is it this guy? Never traveled without it.
Stop holding up the line, idiot!
It's not his fault, he's just doing his job.
It's your fault, dummy!
Do you know who I am?
Oh, God.
I'm actually a huge celebrity on my way to New York for an important meeting with a book publisher who wants to publish a book about me because I am famous.
Sir, whoever you are, please.
Really? You've never heard of my TV show. You know very well who I am. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to New York. Could be this.
Oh my God! Holy shit!
We're gonna need a full body cavity search.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I think the New York air's been good for my health. I mean, I did find a lump, but hey, who needs health insurance when you've got BoJack Horseman writing a book, huh?
Oh God.
How's it coming along? Why, is Diane no good?
She's too good. I don't know if Diane is damaged enough to tell the story. She's so functional.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Horseman. She's too functional. Why don't I just get on the phone and call a less functional? What are you talking about? This is a very bad time, BoJack.
Got it. Sorry it took so long.
I just realized what she's been sitting on.
Yeah, just a stack of books.
Book late.
That was my brother Tommy. My dad just died.
Oh my God.
On his side them and guide them.
Ty, stop singing your dumb scrambled egg song. Who said that?
Oh,
If
God.
you're wondering who said that, it's this note that you're reading. You're hearing my voice. Here's what you need to do. Nothing. Don't touch my stuff and don't make a mess. Pick me up at the airport tomorrow, and until then, don't do anything.
Here we go! The great
Oh God.
Here we have the home of a truly dynamic and unique talent, TV's own David Boreanaz.
What? $50? In that case, come on in, friends. Some guy named David Boreanaz lives here.
Oh
Wow.
my God. Watch, David Boreanaz is someone that works on the show.
I wish I had brothers growing up. Touch football on the weekends, noogie parades on the reg. Life as an only child can get pretty lonely. Imaginary friends are freeloaders invented by communists to rip off welfare. Why don't you do something productive like bang your head against the wall until your brain isn't so stupid?
Okay, Daddy.
Yeah, well,
Holy shit.
Oh yeah?
Wow.
An old me trick called That Hurts My Feelings.
the truth is I used to sit alone on the hill out by the dump and dream of waking up as Chelsea Clinton, but with my hair.
You do have great hair.
I know.
That was amazing.
What? A kaleidoscope? I'm not 5 shades of colors, the likes of which I've never seen.
Oh, thank God you're here, Dee Dee. Pops is wicked to
Oh
buy.
my God, they all look the same.
Yeah.
So hard, and I do not like them apples, Dee Dee.
Yo, Dee, get me a beer. Yeah, make that too, Dee.
Look who decided to come home. Queen Dee Dee blesses us with a presence.
She may not be the black sheep of the family, but she's the black sheep of the family.
Why would you want to stick around, be with your family in their time of need?
Come on, Ma.
Don't fight while the game's on. It's bad juju.
Their jerseys are just sports and ball
Yeah.
game.
For 5 years, she didn't come home. Why don't you make like A-Rod and blow?
Well, this was clearly a huge mistake.
Please.
Why not? Ma doesn't want me here. Is there a number for me to call?
Yeah, try 1-800-THE-INTERNET, dummy. Jeez, do some legwork, D. And do it quick. The ice is melting.
Oh my god!
Dad? Did someone draw balls on his forehead?
That was before we knew he was dead.
Oi, mate, this picture of David Boreanaz fell apart.
Oh, no, I'll handle that. Why don't you just go look through David Boreanaz's underwear drawer?
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
Oh, am I reading something again?
No. This is your conscience.
Oh god,
His
you're
conscience,
my
is
conscience?
BoJack.
Is this really what you're doing?
Smother it.
Are you trying to cut me out of this, David Boreanaz? I'm your agent, damn it.
How'd you find out about Boreanaz's house?
Don't worry, I'm not just gonna sit here batting a ball of yarn around while you do the real work. I want to take your project to the next level. You do your job, I'll do mine.
Who is this?
Wait.
Well, out of combinations, now I'm bored. Diane!
It's been 10 minutes!
He didn't get into BC.
What's the point of getting off the couch anyway? All the jobs are going to immigrants these days.
What are you? We're immigrants.
How do you figure?
We're Vietnamese.
Step off. We're American as fuck.
Oh my
That
god!
line!
Oh! This
Holy
hurts!
shit!
This hurts!
Pull over and park the car. Is that the frickin' horse from horsing around?
Again, does anyone here speak English?
Oh, no.
What?
Oh, no.
Davies? Is that Mila Kunis?
Wow.
BH on all hand towels and linens. That stands for Boreanaz's house.
This is gonna be the most money that's ever been made in BoJack's house.
Yep.
Well, one time at Bristol Farms, Ben Affleck and I did reach for the same bunch of grapes.
Oh, he eats grapes just like us? Hey, Ma, Ben Affleck eats grapes.
He don't eat grapes.
When Dee Dee was 16, we made up a secret pen pal for her named Leo.
Guys,
Oh no.
would rather not discuss it.
We all took turns writing the letters, pretending to be the sensitive boy from Cambridge. It was
He got off the couch for this.
Yours forever, Leo.
What? That is amazing.
After 6 months of letters, we hired a homeless guy to pretend to be Leo and take her to the homecoming dance.
Oh, wait, what?
Like your boutonniere?
No, wait, what?
Why do we watch this every day? Yeah, Dee Dee, why do we gotta go?
Fine. None of you have to go. I'll take care of everything.
Thank
Oh
you,
my
Diane.
gosh.
I'll really appreciate it.
Come on, BoJack.
Why you gotta take BoJack with you?
Let's take a peek at the slumbering Mr. Boreanaz himself.
Get out of my room, Todd. I'm David.
Yes.
And thus concludes our tour. Have a Boreanderful day.
I see. Might I then suggest our piece of shit dad package would be too good for him package? Excellent choice.
We're gonna have to re-look at that page, see
Yeah.
the text on
You
it.
might want to loosen up a little. I think you could actually learn a thing or two from your brothers.
Are you kidding?
God damn it, are you goddamn kidding me? I keep getting this unlisted number. Ignore. Who are these assholes?
Why don't you just answer and then
Oh,
you know?
they just love that. What How are we supposed to blackmail them if we...
Yes!
Oh
Yes!
my god!
Yes!
Oh, so much.
Another 5 G's, T-bag, and we are in the pink.
I don't
In the
know,
pink!
Carolyn. I mean, I ran out of shoe boxes for the money, and the books aren't adding up. Plus, the men's lab needs to be serviced, and I had to fire Janine in the gift shop.
In the gift shop!
I don't think these offshore banks we've been using are 100%.
Yeah, well, my mother told me never to slap an idiot.
What?
Ow! I'll tell you what you should do.
Who said that?
It's me, David Boreanaz.
Is that what David Boreanaz sounds like?
Sure. If you say on my show, I want to say new girl, just keep doing what you're doing and you'll be fine.
So completely different time period from the other shows that have been mentioned.
All those jerkwads had to do was show up, and they couldn't even do that. Where's the body even?
Beg your pardon, minor hiccup. My goons went to pick your father up, but nobody was home. For a nominal fee, we can scrounge up another body for you.
Yeah, we realized Dad wouldn't have wanted some stuffy funeral.
He would have wanted his body to be chopped up into chum and thrown in Derek Jeter's fat face.
Yeah, suck it, Jeter!
Wait, what? Where is Dad?
We got him chummed. He's in the truck.
Mommy, you begged me to stay in hell.
Why does
I
everything always gotta be
can't.
a big shot, Diane? Too good for her home.
Guys, you got it all wrong. Diane isn't a big shot. She's my ghostwriter. She's writing a book that's not even gonna have her name on it. She lives with her rich boyfriend and doesn't pay rent. She's not too good for anything. BoJack helping?
And she snaps.
This is why I told you to wait in the car!
Oh, she snapped.
Everyone, please disperse. This is an unlawful gathering. Disperse immediately.
Oh, this isn't looking good, Princess Carolyn. What are we gonna do?
What do you mean, we? Princess Carolyn always lands on her feet.
Mr. Boreanaz, I presume.
Oh,
Hey.
nice.
Sorry I said all that.
Good.
It's
Good
all true,
job.
isn't it?
I found this letter back at the bar. I think it's for you.
Dear Diane, it's me, your old pen pal Leo. This definitely isn't BoJack Horseman writing this.
Look, take it from someone with his own shitty parents. Family is a sinkhole, and you were right to get out when you had the chance.
The stupid thing is, even now, I still just want them to be proud of me and
Yeah.
think I did good.
Closure is a made-up thing by Steven Spielberg.
Wait!
True love in the Munich Olympics doesn't exist in the real world. The only thing to do now is just to keep living forward.
You just spit so much stuff there, BoJack. I need time to process that.
The good news is your dad can't hurt anyone ever again.
Nope.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Thank you so
Ah, you're kidding me!
Baseball hotshot like you would be too busy.
Just cheat it!
Us old ladies across the street.
I always have time to look out for my elders, Yankee fan or no.
Is that a barrel of chum?
Only at Fenway.
Wow! Yes!
It's Herb. You know what to do.
Oh.
Hey.
Because that was the family that he had.
Yeah.
I think we have some unfinished business about life being too short. Well, of course, you know what I'm saying. You're the one with terminal ill. I feel like I'm doing all the talking here. So anyway, I thought maybe we could chat. Why don't you give me a call? Okay? So, smell you later? Oh, who keeps calling me?
Come on, BoJack.
Oh, no! No!
It's BoJack. You know what to do.
Yo.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy.
Diane. That was a Diane episode.
Yep, and that makes total sense that was
so good.
Was her episode.
Uh-huh.
Because, yeah, you were right, BoJack, actually. She's too functional.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the dysfunction?
Yep.
Well, we found it.
We found it.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. She has an unhealthy relationship with her family because even though she hasn't been there in 5 years, understandable, and has probably also some deep-seated trauma regarding the whole family situation.
Oh, yeah.
She does not owe them anything. There are a lot of people that believe that because you are blood related to somebody, that you have to let them basically
Be a part of your
abuse
life.
that trust and connection, basically.
Yeah.
Now you can look at some of these things there and go like, oof, that's relatable, but families are all kind of fucked up and stuff. And it's like, yeah, totally. Every family has their problems and stuff.
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect and all that. But when you're a grown-ass adult, you can choose how to live your life however you want.
Mm-hmm.
And in a lot of ways, it's something that totally makes sense in the context of, if you have an alcoholic father who's just a horrible piece of shit, yep. No, I'm not necessarily going to do anything more than just show up for the funeral, say hi, and then probably goodbye.
Yep.
That's about it.
And yet there's still that part where it's not fully
Exactly.
resolved, and that's why she stays. That's how they were able to rope her into, staying longer, when everything that was happening there is all the confirmations of, no, this is not a good idea. There's no point to this. It's, yeah.
Yeah. I also loved the classic put upon toxic masculinity thing where they, or the toxic masculinity thing where they sit around and are lazy and basically play the I'm dumb, I can't do anything, and basically be like, woman, do all this stuff for me. Do all this stuff for us. Oh, we can't do any of it there. But then the mother solely like in the in terms of righting the ship there, like solely does nothing but throw petty passive aggressive bullshit at her, showing that it's not just a the sons are all bad or anything like that.
Right.
Nope. I have seen.
It was not just a dad thing.
It was not just a dad thing. It was the whole family. If anything, she was probably young enough that she got to see it at its worst the entire point of her childhood, so that she didn't have some silver lining that she could hold on to.
Right.
I know a lot of people who are, because I come from a big family as well, where you see them in their situation from being like one of the younger siblings, right? And it's very much the okay. So you're kind of the ones that are probably going to be the most balanced in general, because you get to see and learn from everybody's mistakes and stuff and things like that.
Sure.
And I'm the oldest in our family, and there's an element of feeling that like, oh shoot, there are things that I perpetuated by being the ones that were the most mom and dad, especially, and thus then, when I look at the youngest kids and stuff like that, they kind of have the most like, I saw all the good and the bad at its zenith, if you will, and they like pick exactly the few things that they want from the family. They're like, those are my things, and everything else, I just kind of throw it out.
Yeah,
exactly.
Get rid of it.
Do you have any kind of like unique perspective on the whole like, like this kind of family dysfunction where it's something that people tolerate, growing up, and then it's when you get older, it's like, okay, I'm not standing for this anymore.
Right, because there's I feel like there's a few different angles to it, right?
Yeah.
There's the Diane angle, which is the most straightforward and recognizable angle, right? And that's why it's used in the story, because it makes it nice and simple for a 25-minute episode, and we don't need to have anything more complicated than that.
True.
And Diane is all of the characters in this show are very extreme in their own different ways, which means then the things that brought them about or made them into the people that they are would also be very extreme, right? Whereas real life characters are a little
more
bit less
nuanced.
Yeah, a bit more nuanced, a bit less extreme, all that stuff, and so the situations are as well.
Yeah.
So, in my personal situation, right, it's, not a thing of like, horrible family things and all that stuff. But yeah, as you grow up, you start to realize that, your parents are no exception to the people are imperfect, right? And so then you start to see like, oh, wait, those things that are being done, that's no, I'm not okay with that, right? And then you get the sort of like the teenage butting heads with the parents, or maybe beyond teenage years. That's what the situation was for me. But yeah, and then as far as from the outside looking in onto other family dynamics, where it's not they have a problem that needs to be addressed, then it's no, this whole thing is just all sorts of awful.
I've seen that so many times. It's like it's not even uncommon. It's
right, like it's a bad joke. Like
it's a really bad joke,
and it's made its way into storytelling,
right,
because
and that's why it's in this episode specifically.
Right.
Is that in some ways every person who's watching this show has seen this essentially at least once.
Well, and that's why it doesn't just come from Diane, right? Even BoJack, when she's like talking about the stuff, and everything, he's like, oh no, yeah, my situation as an only child was pretty normal and basic, and then he remembers all the horrible things that his dad would say to him.
And his dad is cartoonishly stupid. Cartoonishly stupid. But again, same method, different horse. the way in which we used Diane's feeling of desiring for closure in a specific area that she didn't feel that she got an adequate supply of love or relationship and stuff like that with family has defined a lot of the things in which she kind of puts up with.
Sure.
I do think that there is an angle by which Mr. Peanut Butter,
yes,
if you think about it a little bit, makes sense as to why she puts up with his bullshit, because it's way better than what she had with her family.
He is a kind person, even if we, let's still remember the stuff from the beginning of the show where it was, maybe more of BoJack's perspective on it, but that stuff was probably still happening.
Oh yeah, and I think that there's a very clear point in which his maybe lazy and or slightly kind of distant aspects of how he kind of does things, or maybe disconnected and maybe kind of dumb side of things, she's just like, no, that's fine. That just makes him safe. If you think about it. Because I think one of the things that you can infer by the prank video is that she didn't feel safe at home. Like, she actually didn't feel safe. Her dad was an alcoholic. At the very least, her dad didn't make her feel safe. But the fact that her brothers did this and would poke at this with her for quite a bit, she didn't feel safe with them. And I do think that there is a definite specific dynamic here that you don't find in all households, but when there is an only daughter with a whole bunch of really awful boys being led by an awful father, this kind of thing makes sense to happen more than different dynamics and stuff like that. So
right, because black sheep joke aside, which I loved, that was fantastic.
Yes.
And also a bit of commentary, if you think about it, in that Diane didn't realize that she was the black sheep. She's like, no. That's the other one, the actual literal black sheep that was adopted, right? But no, that's exactly what was happening with you, right? And you were picked on, to put things lightly, viciously, right? As a result of that. And so, congratulations, you got out of it.
Yep.
But that's what the situation was, right? It feels like it's that an even more twisted version of the saying of the if you go into a room and you don't know who the sucker is, you're the sucker, right? It's like that, but worse.
Yeah. Another kind of thing you could lean into here is basically it's something about the level of dysfunction that is the lowest, or like the lowest level of dysfunction, or even maybe the highest level of dysfunction, speaks to the amount that's tolerated by the leaders in an establishment there. So you can look at the extreme things that they do here, and you go, oh, that's so bad. And that's where because it's happening here, and it's not being addressed. Right. It's not being even said.
That's being treated as essentially normal, the status quo, whatever.
Right. That's the level of dysfunction that the leaders in this establishment are comfortable with, aka the mom in this instance here, because she's the oldest, and they're her kids.
Right.
But if that's the case, one of the most powerful things that you can do as a family member is communicate the kinds of things that you're not going to tolerate, you're not comfortable with. And if they're not willing to respect those boundaries, or at the very least, show that they're going to start progressing in that direction, then you just leave. One of the things that I'm a big proponent for, and I feel like it's happening more and more at the very least in my peers and stuff like that, is doing what I would call healthy confrontation, where you address basically someone and you go, hey, we're in some kind of relationship where, things need to be held to a specific standard, but obviously we have different standards, so we're going to find our best way in which we can communicate those standards, but also then meet somewhere in the middle. If the communication is not willing to be done, in some way,
then, there you go.
Then the relationship breaks down. There's no point in having it at all. Just leave.
And then past that,
exactly,
where you have the thing, and the thing that the thing that I feel like makes this so messy is that the thing that these people will say is actually true as a general principle, in that you can't demand perfection from people, right? There is some certain level of dysfunction that you need to be willing to forgive you know, like, you know, choose your battles, all that stuff.
Depending on the level of the relationship.
Exactly. In order to have relationships in general, because otherwise you will only have the casual relationships where you don't know them well, so you don't see their dysfunction, and then once you do, then you're gone, right?
Another way to do it is basically that if you have a best friend, obviously you tolerate their level of dysfunction.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. They're your best friend. They're the person that gets that closest spot into you, but obviously they're not perfect because no human is. So therefore, whatever their dysfunction is, you don't see it as a problem.
Right. But you also need to be able to stand up for yourself and call the shit out when it happens, right?
Yep.
So that way it's kept to a, you know, workable level of dysfunction, right? And if it gets beyond that,
that needs to be addressed.
And if it isn't able to be addressed by the other people, right, then, well, you have no commitment to being in relationship with them, and, you know, there you go.
Yeah,
and the
sucky thing is that a lot of people get into situations where they feel so stuck in the connection or the relationship that even though they want to, they just can't. You know, they just don't believe they can.
Sure. Yeah. And if in that situation, the people that are being dysfunctional then tell you that you're being selfish, right? By distancing yourself and all that stuff, yes, you are. And that's a good thing.
Yes.
Because selfishness is not always bad.
Yeah, selfishness is not some evil thing.
Right.
Like, I feel like a lot of people will basically start measuring out the grievances or the sins or the specific errors of like, but see, you're being selfish and I'm only, you know, verbally abusing you. You know, like why are you bringing such problems into this dynamic here? I love where we've gone as a society with regards to guarding people's mental health, but also specifically just confronting this kind of stuff and
communicating and maintaining boundaries.
Well, communicating and maintaining boundaries, but also just having a culture specifically of like, hey, like, we're close, so I'm going to call you out on that.
I do it because I care about you.
Exactly.
If I didn't, I would just leave without saying anything.
Right. One of my favorite things that I've seen comedians bring up is basically the idea that what's kind of fucked up is that when people trust you more, they reveal more of their dysfunction.
Right.
By basically saying, you're comfortable with this, but then if that's where they're at, that's good. And if you've communicated where that's fine, then that's fine. But I see also in that the painful thing of where people will then be basically like, but I don't want to lose this friendship. If I call them out on this stuff, then I will lose that. And I feel like that's maybe a slight revelation that, you know, if their dysfunction is something that, you know, isn't, you know, directly affecting you, maybe you don't need to address it, you know, immediately, but still like finding basically the way in which relationships affect each other and stuff, not even if you're, I don't know, not super close with them. But,
So one take that I have on it, that I'm not saying I practice this perfectly or anything or necessarily even well, but when you have situations like that, right, and someone is being dysfunctional, right, and you're thinking, okay, I don't want to damage the relationship, so I'm not sure if I want to call them out on it. Do them the respect of calling them out on it.
Yeah.
And trusting that will not damage the relationship. Yeah. If you end up getting proven wrong, then I'm sorry, that sucks serious ass.
It does suck,
and then you have to deal with that. But if you don't, because you're scared of it, this is not blame, but you are then becoming complicit in their own abuse, even if it is of you. And so...
Yeah, or at the very least, you need to leave. Like
you're right, exactly.
Because some people can't confront because it's just dangerous.
Yeah, of course. There is always the option of don't confront and just leave.
We're not talking about that.
Yeah, exactly. That is always the out that is there, and that is a perfectly valid and good option, even if there's someone that is very close to you and you would hope to not have to do that.
That's why, in a lot of ways, when you're getting closer to somebody, it's not good to really be close or maybe best friends to a totally isolated person. This is a bit of a weird specific vein here, but the reason for that
Because then there's a dependency that's unequal.
Well, basically that they might not have someone else to call them out on the things that they're doing, basically.
Yes, absolutely.
You're the only person that can do that.
Yeah.
Because I think most people have a lot of people that can call them out on stuff.
Right.
But there's different levels, obviously. But if you have someone that's so entirely isolated in that regard, and in a weird way, I'm trying to bring this back to the show here a little bit.
Oh, but
BoJack is kind of like that.
Hence him clinging to Todd, even maybe.
No, to anyone.
Sure.
He got excited to hang out with them because of noogie parades,
right?
And
after all the shit that he saw them doing,
exactly. Now, while he did the cool thing by being, Leo,
right, that was great. That was very in character,
Yes, it definitely was a breath of fresh air in a very depressing and despairing episode. But I hope that this is a start to where they can bond, or at the very least commiserate a little bit over their shared trauma, but have it be still with proper boundaries.
Exactly. Well,
I don't think BoJack has any real boundaries.
No, but I would say this is something not just for the sake of the narrative and us enjoying the show, but from the standpoint of BoJack and Diane's relationship dynamic.
Yeah.
If BoJack is going to be vulnerable with her, then in order for it to be balanced, she would also need to be vulnerable with him in some way. And,
she brought him to see her family.
No. Yeah, but then there's also the things of wait, didn't you say that you would watch the stuff with my dad? Yeah, that's a little writer's trick called lying.
Right. Yeah, no more lying to him, basically, would be beneficial. Yeah.
Right. It's the there can be trust so that the things that BoJack is sharing and how he truly feels about them can be done in a place that is safe, where it's not just some stranger, some contract ghostwriter. It's Diane.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Wonderful episode.
Great episode. Very painful. Yeah. But all right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about animated shows in general, and also be sure to check out my Persona 5 Royal Let's Play on Twitch right now. So yeah, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.